Hey, brother. I wanted to send you this update because it's sort of hard to put onto paper all of these thoughts. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can, maybe only 2 or 3 minutes. But I really wanted to show you this update. So first, let me talk about our website updates and the blog post. The new blog post about carpeting should be out today. I'm having problems with how the update about, because what I did was I updated the video to sort of show that we bring the showroom to you, and I was having problems working with the mobile. It kept crashing every time I did it, so I've had to go in and shorten the video, and I'm just having problems with the video. That should be up. My game plan is by Friday night. But I've redone this video like 5 or 6 times in order to make it not crash, and every time I think it's right, it doesn't work. So I'm still working on that. But I wanted to show you something real quick. So as I bring up our numbers, and I know that we might not have seen a ton of results so far, this is what I've seen. And actually, let me go back so that I can talk to you and I'm more present. Typically, when I'm marketing a website goes through 3 distinct phases. You go through the build phase, then you go through the competing phase, and then you're at that dominance phase. And each phase is different. So the build phase is doing everything to match the competition. And typically what happens in each of the phases is you see a breakthrough that occurs, right? So typically in the build phase, you're building a website, you're building your backlinks, you're building your citation, you're beginning to compete, but you haven't quite reached that point of competition yet. So you're not really being seen. Then you enter into this competition space where you are being seen. You're just not one of the top 3. And then you begin to enter into this dominant position, which is now you're top 3. Now you're the one that everyone's turning to. And let me sort of show you what I'm witnessing here. So first, this is the wrong one. This was my video prompts. Sorry, I'm getting sick. Here's our Google Business Profile. If we check performance, right, we doubled our performance last month than we've ever done, right? We've ever done. Now, this is important, and I'm going to show you why I think that this is the case, is because I think that we've finally finished with this build phase and have begun our competing phase, right? If I go to performance, the same thing, what this is this sort of tracks all of the website impressions that we get, right? Both total clicks on our websites and impressions. And what you could see is even starting in August, we would have these months of lull where we wouldn't see a ton of interaction. But as we hit October, you begin to see those spikes occur much and much less, right? To where we're getting consistent clicks, consistent views, consistent searches and impressions. Now, if I look at keywords, right, once again, when we started, right, let me do aggregate so I can show you. When we started our positions, all of our search words puts us at about 36, right? So that means out of all of the keywords, and there's 50 keywords I searched for, the average position of those was 36. Well, right, now we've jumped up to 33, which is actually really good. But that brings me to what I was really focusing on. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you. So I've used this local search grid because I find one of the best ways that you can see results is in this Google Map Pack. Now, this is when we first started. And what I want you to notice is if I click on keywords, we're not ranked in most of these. And the reason we're not ranked is because, like here, we wouldn't show up on a top 20 Google search, period. Well, as I jump to September, right, the end of September, we're still the same. In fact, we're probably a little worse. As I jump to October, I'll go to October 18th, we're still the same, right? We're up on 1, but the rest of them we're not being seen really at all. And it's firmly because we're in this building phase. We haven't quite hit what we need to in terms of backlinks and citations in order to break through and to match what our competitors have. Well, right? I just want you to take a look at this, right? We're at nothing. We're at 13. Nothing. 20. Well, here's our most recent one from the first. Right? And see this net change. Up 7.9, up 6.8, up 1.8, up 8, up 6.3, right? So now if they're typing flooring installation, right, we're being seen, right? We're beginning to compete, right? If they type floor installation, right, once again, we're being seen. We're beginning to break into this Cinco Ranch, Fulshear area, right? We're beginning to hit exactly where we want to go against some of these larger floor stores. Once again, it's going to be harder for us to break in because all of these have a physical location that they can base off of. So what we have to do is we have to go above and beyond all of their other things that they do. So if they have 100 backlinks, we're going to need something like 300 or 400 in order to match what they have and to outdo it to a substantial amount. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing results. Now, could these results in the next couple weeks dip? Yes, they could. But what this tells me is that we are firmly trending in the right direction, which is one of the reasons on why we're beginning to see these peaks occur more and more frequently. It's the reason why we got a call the other day, which is probably the first call ever, where somebody just found you on Google. Because now, maybe for the first time, we are actually being seen. Anyways, brother, I just wanted to share this with you. To me, when I look at this in particular, and I look, okay, where we were on the 18th, right, which is we're not being seen anywhere really, to what I see today, or I guess that would be the first, is tremendous change. Tremendous change in terms of visibility. Now, one of the things that could be driving this change is the fact that now that we're running ads, those ads are bringing up name recognition. So even if somebody doesn't click on our ad, they see the ad. They see the next floors, right? So maybe somebody's at work and they look it up and they don't call because they don't have time, but they remember the name and then they search up the name later, right? Well, that's going to help increase this whole standing, right? Anyways, brother, this is about triple the time I wanted to take on this video. I was just really excited to share. All right, hope you have a good day. Bye, man.